as an industry, I came up with an idea that why the heck not buy our competitor? When I looked around and I saw this competitor was wide open, I said, it's there for the taking. So I started buying Engels shares in the stock market, 1997. And I bought, and I bought, and I bought, and I bought, until I got to 27%. Okay? 27%, the management got a bit upset. So they took out a case against me to stop me from buying any more or to come on the board. I said, fine, go to court. So they went to court. 2 years we ran around in court, nothing happened as usual. And ultimately I told them, said, listen, you can go on this, doing this for the next 20 years, it's fine. But remember one thing. If you're claiming in your balance sheet that you are a company of integrity, what you are doing is exactly the opposite. You're a listed company, you have no right to stop people exercising their vote and getting and having representation on the board. Others don't be listed, that's fine then. But if you are listed, then you can't. And if you think that this is not going to eat into the very vitals of the organization, you're kidding yourself. Because you're telling a lie. When you start telling a lie, you will become hypocritical. So finally we had negotiations with them, and in negotiations it was agreed that management would run the company, we should have no objection, we'll only be on the board. So we're interested in, we're not interested in running the company, and go ahead. So then I came on the board, I think in 2003, two. I came on. Myself and my son, we came on the board. Obviously there was a lot of, because there was a case, obviously the Engel team felt very tense. I thought there's nothing to feel tense about. So much so that in that first board meeting, they proposed that the chairman should continue and become chairman for the next 3 years. He held 120 shares. I held 27% of the company. So chief executive quickly said, I propose that this gentleman should be the chairman. And I said, I put up my hands and I said, I second. Yes. Make him the chairman.
Zafar Saab. Zafar.
Zafar Saab proposed it.
Okay.
Sayyid Naseem Ahmed was the chairman.
Okay.
So fine. Yes, let him be chairman. So he continued as chairman for the next 3 years. And by that time, things had changed. And then you can see here, 2006, I was elected chairman.
We did.
Okay? 2006, you can see all the changes that took place in between there, and we again continued to restructure the group. We had, of course, 4 major textile publicly listed companies, Dow Conum, Buriwala, Lawrenceburg, and Dylon, and we merged them all into one and called it Dow Lawrenceburg. You see there, 2004, the top right. Okay? We went into technology, acquired Inbox, and that's an interesting story. You know how we acquired Inbox? Oh, yes, and his colleagues had set up this company called Inbox, and they're producing computers. And they were expanding and growing, and they realized at some point that we're not going to make it unless we have a support of a group behind us. Because you need funding, you need to finance the expansion, etc., particularly the growth of sales. So he came up and said to us, he said, buy us out. I said, no, we're not interested. We're not in technology, we don't want to go that way. Okay. Sometime later he came back and said, buy us out. I said, not interested. So, no, you have to take majority. We don't want majority. We don't know how to run this company. No, you have to take it. We said, we don't want it. He said, you're not only going to take it, but you're going to take it at the price I'm going to tell you to take it. Will you believe it? He got that. We bought out majority at his price. But we said on one condition, you're going to run it. We're not going to run it. He said, fine. So he has shareholding. Some of the members of the board also have shareholding. They're running it even now. That was what, 2004? It's 10 years. We've never got into management of that. So after becoming chairman of Engro, we restructured the group, which is now Hercules. We demerged the fertilizer out of it. We call that DH fertilizer. We then converted, for the first time in the history of Pakistan, we had an insurance company called Central Insurance, and we know nothing about insurance. So why wasting our time? And yeah, the interesting thing happened. I was chairman of it, and I went to the AGM, and all the shareholders were there, and they all turned and said, you know, you've got lousy results. And you're right, we have. And then they started this criticism and that criticism, and argue feature. This party sat and listened to it all. I said, listen, I have a problem. Everything you said is right, I have a problem though. They said, what? I said, this is a chore industry. I said, I can't work this industry because, you know, people are making false claims, they're giving false statements, they're doing false. I said, I can't handle that. I don't know what to do with this damn company. Because I will not subscribe to something that's fundamentally wrong. So I said, why don't you guys advise me? And the whole AGM turned over and we were all talking to each other, how best to take the company forward and what to do, what not. It's a great experience. So we came to the conclusion we don't add any value in that area. We decided that we would convert it. When we went to this SECP, they had no idea on how to revoke an insurance license because there's no provision in law. So we had to work with them, they had to get the provisions in, or whatever form. Finally, after a lot of argue-peach, negotiation, whatever, they finally agreed, and they revoked our insurance license. So we didn't sell it, we revoked it. And we converted it into the first listed private equity firm called Cyan. Now, in 2002, when the responsibilities of the chairmanship descended on my weak shoulders, you know, you have a certain amount of funds. Everybody has limited funds, even the United States government has. We've seen how rating agencies have even downgraded governments. So obviously everybody has limitation of funds. We had a certain amount of funds, and we said we've got two choices. We're in textiles, either we go put all the money into textiles and refurbish all of our textiles, or we could put the money somewhere else. But we can't do both. So I made a decision, we get out of textiles. That's a painful decision, you know. The family's been in textiles for 80 years. To suddenly make a decision, we exit. We're going to concentrate on chemicals and the growth in that area rather than in textiles. It was a very major decision. So we've shut down Dow Cotton, we shut down Boriwala, we shut down Dialogue, and we shut down now Lawrence Pool. But Lawrence Pool is now a marketing company. So we continue the brand. We're now concentrating on retail rather than manufacturing. Okay? So we're complete out of textiles. Although we're the most diversified group in textiles. Nobody was in all fields, wool, cotton, and synthetics. We were right across the board. We're out of everything. And we instead concentrated on fertilizers. So in Engro, when we were there, we, under the leadership of Asad Umar, we went in for 5 expansions all at the same time. We went in for expansion of the fertilizer, which is an investment of over $1 billion. We set up the world's largest state-of-the-art single-train urea process. This was done by Pakistanis in Pakistan. It's a very complex project because we had the old fertilizer project there and you had to integrate them. And that is an engineering feat in itself. And to do the whole project with such fantastic control, such fantastic management, an absolute amazing achievement. So we completed the project, invested $1 billion, and at the same time we expanded our polymer. We backward integrated. We went in for expansion of our Engro-Vopak, which is the terminal, the chemical terminal. We also invested in 3, before that, foods, 4, and then I think we went to rice, 5. All at the same time. Ladies and gentlemen, don't be nuts. Never do 5. Do 1. Don't do 5. So there we were. And the whole nature of Engro has changed naturally. We see its growth path. It is what it was or what it is now. There's nothing left, except that's history now. So we did all those expansions, completed, and just as we completed, we came under some pretty heavy weather. The government refused to honor its gas supply agreement. So there's a brand new plant there with $1 billion investment, and the government won't give you the gas for it. They won't honor the contract. So sorry. Now I'm not going to, which is all being recorded, you know, you've got to be a little careful. I'm going to tell you why, but you can guess why. And I refuse. I said, I'm sorry, we don't do those things. They say, you know the consequences. Of course I understand the consequences. I said, you don't do those things. Sorry. So we suffered 3.5 years. Can you imagine that a brand new fertilizer factory of that size gets gas for 9% of the year? Just 9%. And we had to suffer that. And obviously that led us to the situation where we had to restructure the loans. So we had that challenge. We successfully restructured it. And we have constantly worked with the government. And now they have agreed to honoring the gas contract, which was decided last month. In addition to that, the government has specially asked us to put our best foot forward to do the LNG project, something that we said we don't want to do. We don't want to do it because we don't like to get involved in anything where there is any hint of wrongdoing. So we, the board, had decided we're not going to do it. But then I got a call from the powers that be. They said, you have to participate. We don't want this bid to be a bid by one party only. There has to be competition. So we want you to compete. What do I say? So I said, okay. So the board then had to reverse its decision. We participated, and naturally we won, because we are the ones who have the capacity and the capability to perform. What is that? We have everything lined up for LNG. Everything's lined up. We've been ready for years. We're the only ones who, the day that the agreement is signed, we could have the LNG in operation, delivering gas in 11 months. Anybody else would take 2.5 to 3 years. We're the only ones that can do it in 11 months. Guaranteed. Now, where can there be a competition? There can't be. If you sign with somebody else, it's going to take 2.5, 3 years. You sign with these guys, they do it in 11 months. Obviously, the government's got a crisis on its hands. It wants to get the gas in so that it can alleviate the problems of the people. So we obviously got the LNG contract. Then, as you know, we've been working on the TiE project for the last 4 or 5 years. We got the block, we've been slowly developing it, we've got international consultants in, we spent an enormous amount of money, $6 million, just to get all the various studies done, concerning all aspects of that investment, including the environmental aspect, including the aspect regarding to displacement of people, regard to water, you name it, covered every area. And we set up this company called Sindh Anglo Coal Mining Corporation, or for short we call it SECMEC. So SECMEC is a joint venture with the government of Sindh. They have 40%, we had 60%, but we knew that this project, because it's coal, it would not get financing unless there was a government guarantee. So we asked the government, would you please give a guarantee so we could get people to take interest in financing the project. So they agreed, and Asif Zardari, through Raja Paludasha, gave that on the condition that the SECMEC had to be majority government owned. So we said fine, we gave them 11%, we reduced our holding to 49%, Sindh government 51%, now it's majority owned by the government, and now those guarantees can be become effective. And as you saw on the 31st of January, the unique event, unique in the sense that the heads of the two most important political parties had the sagacity to get together, come all the way over to TiE in order to break ground for the project. To me, that's far more important than breaking ground of the project, because it shows political maturity. It shows finally Pakistan's coming to the stage where national issues can take precedence over personal differences. And I think it's a fantastic achievement. I had the privilege, of course, of traveling with the Prime Minister and the Minister Asif Zardari, and I must say, extremely positive attitude from both sides. Fantastic. And the other thing about TiE is that TiE is a game changer. It's as important as the Tarbela Dam. It's as important as the finding of sweet gas. It is that important. The area that we've got is called Block 2. It is 79.6 square kilometers. It has within it 2 billion tons of coal. It is 1% of TiE, just 1%. Now, TiE is an amazing deposit. It's the only deposit in the whole world where 175 billion tons of coal is all within one area.
Wow.
Usually it's spread all over. It's all concentrated. First-class lignite coal. We know it. We've done all the studies. 2 billion tons of coal. So the project that we've got is to set up a mining operation to produce 3.5 million tons of coal a year to feed 600 megawatts of power generation. And both have to go at the same time because you need a major offtake to make the mining operation successful. So they have to go both at the same time. The investment level is $1.6 billion, 75% debt, 25% equity, $400 million of equity, which will require $150 million from each from the two sponsors, the Sindh government and Anglo, and $100 million that has to be raised otherwise. So that's how the project is being structured. We had that privilege before. When I graduated, we were signing the World Bank agreements. At that time, Sri Northern had approached the World Bank for a loan of $12 billion to expand its network. And the World Bank said at that time, unless you have a major off-taker, the answer is no. And that major off-taker was Dow Hercules Chemicals Limited. And the two agreements were signed on the same day at the same time. Sri Northern's agreement and our agreement. So the same thing's been repeated 40 odd years later. It's amazing. But here in TiE we're doing exactly the same thing again. So it's a very, very important project. from a national point of view, because otherwise the country is going to be perpetually saddled with having to import molecules for which they're paying hard dollars. Talent is ours. You don't have to pay anybody hard dollars, you pay rupees. And this can really bring about energy security of the nation. The capacity of the block, 5,000 megawatts, it can provide enough coal to generate 5,000 megawatts for 50 years. That tells you that's 1% of Tara. So you get an idea how important this whole project is. We went there, there's nothing there. It's the boonies. There's absolutely nothing there. And you're going to be transforming that into a vibrant community, God willing, as we start to make all the investments and start to develop the coal fields. So is there anything left? Huh? Oh! Somewhere along this journey, you see here, 2012, we acquired the largest shareholding in Hubco. International Power is investing. The credit goes to my son, Hussain Dawood. We negotiated the whole thing, brought it to the table, convinced the board. We invested in it, and now Hubco can make a significant contribution to alleviating our energy crisis. It's a fantastic location. It can be done. Hubco produces more than 10% of the total electrical supply of the country. So we've got a little bit of energy. Well, is there anything left?
No.
Done? I have permission to close.
How was your leadership?
Q&A. Oh.
SBL,
All right. You want to talk? Well,
start with lunch.
I was supposed to become the member of the Pakistan member in the Commonwealth Development Corporation in London. So I was in London, I got a call from Mr. Sarkar at that time, we're talking about 1999. He said, we're nominating you as a member. Is that all right? I said, fine. 98. I said, fine. Well, I came back, nobody said anything. I forgot about it. The neighbor. I find out that late Shokhi Mirza has been nominated. I said, very good, you've got a very good person. I'm glad he's nominated. It's fine with me. So when I was sitting in my office in Lahore, I got a call from Mr. Sarkar saying, we want to nominate you as chairman of the Pakistan Poverty Alleviation Fund. I said, sir, Tata, do you know who you're talking to? I don't know the first thing about poverty. He said, no, we want you to be the chairman. Okay. So that was 1999, I became chairman. It's February 15, 1999. I'm still chairman. The important thing is that we set up a first-class, high-integrity organization. We will not allow wrongdoings at any time. It's an amazing, amazing corporation. Do you know it's 100% government-owned, 100% private sector run? We make all the decisions of the board. Nothing is referred to the government. Nothing. Except when we changed the chief executive, the first chief executive retired after 10 years. That was the only time I had to go to the government and say, you're the owner, we've selected someone. Do you have your approval? It's the only time I go to the government. But the government has the right to nominate 1/3 of the board. I'm one of the nominees. So we had initially Secretary of Finance and Secretary of Economic Affairs Division. And then you know how it happens in bureaucracy. And then that becomes additional secretary and goes down to the joint secretary. It doesn't matter. They're still engaged. And then we have civil society as the other board members. And that organization, when we started, there was total number of microcredit loans 50,000. It's now 3.5 million. And we're growing. The organization has been able to raise $1 billion.
Wow.
But you don't know anything about it. And we're not going to go out and tell you either. The reason is this. You know how it is. When people see a pot of money in this country, everybody makes a beeline for it. So keep a low profile. Nobody notices you there. Get on with life. At least we're doing what we want to do, is alleviating poverty. So we've done a large number of projects within the country. We are taking on different areas and raising the whole poverty profile. We're looking at disaster management. We're looking at the management of water. We're looking at how to get people to develop the micro assets and pull themselves out of poverty. So we have one of the lowest delivery costs in the world, and well, things are moving. That's one thing. The other thing we did, which I must tell you, is that in 1962 we set up the Dawood College of Engineering Technology, which is set up in order to produce graduates for metallurgy, because at that time the steel mill was coming in, electronics, and chemical engineering. And that's the site that you see there near Islamia College. And we were picking up the whole cost of running the college. We got nationalized. When Mr. Zulfikar Bhutto came in, he decided to nationalize the college. So I had an unfortunate experience of having to go and hand it over. Of course, all of this is verbal. Nothing is in writing. So we handed it over. So you take the college, you run it. Our plan was to set up 6 such colleges within the country. It got terminated at the first level. You know, the first year, our college, it was not authorized to be degree awarding, so the students took Karachi University examinations. In those days, Karachi University degrees were held in high esteem abroad. When you had a Karachi University bachelor's degree, you could go into a master's degree abroad, no more. Now you go there, you have to go back to the bachelor's and do it all over again. So it was a respected qualification. And the first year, out of the 45 students who took the Karachi University exams, 44 of them got first class.
Wow.
And today, you can see the corporate leaders are the graduates of Dawood College. Khalid Subhani, who's currently CEO of Anglo Polymer, Sohaib Ajad Siddiqui, who is CEO of Siemens. You've got Humayun Bashir, head of IBM. You've got one other, Asad Khan, who's the head of PTV, who was, now come on. So you can see how one single institution can have such a profound effect on society. But you've got to realize it's going to take 40 years. So don't worry about it. Let's start. So with that in mind, we then set up a new school here, a new business school, called the Karachi School for Business and Leadership, which one learning from this, ladies and gentlemen, always be careful. There we were, we decided to get together and debated whether we should go into a new school or support IBA. We thought IBA needs some competition, so we set up this new school. And we were sitting there, sort of a quasi board meeting, but we didn't even have a legal entity. We just got together. So I got this international call, and normally I don't take calls when I'm inside a board meeting. But since it's a quasi board meeting, I said, "Chalo, I'll take this one." So I stepped outside. I came back 5 minutes later, and there was silence, you know, nobody said anything. Suddenly one guy turned and said, "Oh, congratulations, you're chairman." I said, "I never stood for the chairman." "Too bad. You're the chairman." So more silence, everybody looked at the watch, 5 minutes gone. "Well, time over," and everybody leaves. And I'm left holding the bag. So that was March 2008. And I then decided to go abroad to see if I could get an international partner in order to set up the school at international levels. So I went to the United States, I went to MIT, I went to Babson, I went to Boston. I was going to Harvard, but I had to rush back. My wife wasn't too well. And we didn't get anything there. So we wondered what to do. And then a friend of mine who was in Cambridge said, "Why don't you come to Cambridge?" So I said, "You set up the meeting, I'll come." So we set up the meeting. So on the 1st September 2008, I visited Cambridge and met quite a few of them. They were very gracious. Those had a lunch in my honor. There was the Pro-Vice Chancellor, there were 3 deans, 6 faculty, senior faculty members. And of course, the usual critic, these people are not stupid. Why do you want to set up a new business school? What is the reasoning? What's the background, etc.? While I was there, the first, I had spent the whole day there, I got the feeling, you know, this is the beauty of entrepreneurship. Feel. You've got to suss the place out. You've got to suss the people. I got this feeling that they may be interesting. So I resolved in my mind I'm going to go back there every month. The other thing about entrepreneurs is the principle of JK. Does anybody know what is the principle of JK? Please? I know. It's known as John Carter. Sound like a John Carter. Cholamat. Get over it. Don't let go. So I use the principle of John Carter. But if you want to use a nicer word, yes. So I went back there on the 13th of October. And I met the dean at that time. His name was Arnold Demaya. And I said, "Arnold, we want to set up a new business school. And we'd like to partner with you." So he said to me, "And ladies and gentlemen, have you got pencils and papers ready? Because you're going to be answering this question." Come on. He said to me, just like across the table, he said to me, "Hussain, setting up a new business school is not exciting. Cambridge making some money is not exciting. What makes your business school exciting?" Now, ladies and gentlemen, answer the question. Who has the courage? Who's first? Answer the question. What makes your business school exciting? Oh, yeah? No? Yeah? Okay.
Leaders.
Okay, hold it. Before you answer, I want to make something clear to you. This is what's known as a tipping point question. In other words, a question that will make you go this way or this way. It's on a tip. If it goes this way, you get shown the door. If you go this way, you've got them in the bag. So it's a very simple, but a very risky question. Now think about it and answer. Yes? You have to speak up. Didn't cut any ice with them. You've got to realize that the listener is the one who's going to be making the decision. What are you going to say to him which will get that listener to pay attention and then want to know more?
We know what to be required for a business organization, like 60 years of experience, we know what business needs. And
have you ever met an English professor? Wouldn't cut any ice. No. Next. Think of it, he's a totally different mindset.
largest English-speaking population. Largest English-speaking population which will set up enterprises in this part of the world.
That's an interesting one. Good, okay. Not quite sure how to come on with it. Good reply.
So basically, the other schools are producing the graduate simple, so-called MBAs, but the difference of the KSPL is the thought leadership that we are missing in the society.
That won't cut any ice for you. You're right at the beginning. You don't even have a legal structure. You know, you don't have a corporation or anything. You've got nothing. You're going up to this guy and say, I want to partner with you, and you're bringing nothing to the table. Not even a break. So how do you answer? Your business school, setting up a new business school is not exciting. Cambridge making some money is not exciting. What makes your business school exciting? You know, there's 50 people chasing, 50 institutions chasing Cambridge for wanting to partner with them. Why would he go with you? Come on, you got to say something.
Visionaries.
Yeah, this might actually be somebody who might, take this country out of its current situation. And this English professor might be responsible for that.
I like it. But the only thing I don't know whether he believes that, but I like it. That's good reply. Yes?
Theory, not applying that theory to practicality. So what matters really for any student or any business student is how to apply the knowledge practically.
No, it won't cut any answer. I'm trying to interpret. Please forgive me. Yes.
The entire nation is looking out for a leader. So if this business school is doing the job of making leaders, then probably everybody would want to enroll in it. And
well, you can appreciate there's 50 countries chasing it. So you're just one more. Why would he be, as an English, actually the interesting thing about Cambridge is that there's not a single Englishman there. This guy's a Belgian. The guy who wrote the program was a German. You know, his deputy was an American. I didn't see any Englishman there anyway. The guy who introduced me to him was an Indian. Sorry.
My school would make my students excited.
Huh?
My school would make my students excited.
Please, no. Your answer is what? Your answer second.
Quality education in cheapest possible rates.
No, please forgive.
Many schools where the training brings out the reports and helps you answer that very question, which we are also having.
Sorry?
The school that basically trains you to answer, to think outside the box and actually answer this question which you wrote something.
I like that. That's good. Okay. You want to know what the answer was? What was the answer? Which would excite him to want to partner with? Yes, you want to try?
One try. If we should tell English professors that we are the ones who can carry the legacy of this Cambridge in our country.
They've already got it. The largest players in the market here are Cambridge. So, and as a business school dean, he's not interested in that because that's O level and A level. He's over here at the Judge Business School, which is doing MBAs and PhDs. It's too far away.
This is where you will get the faculty. Your next Cambridge faculty will come from.
All right.
The most exciting thing about my business school will be to create ruthless, innovative business ideas in one institution.
But you didn't get that?
No one has the challenges of next century.
You know, with that ruthless, maybe you should go to jail. There are a lot of ruthless guys there. No? So you want to know?
Yep. Yes.
Fine, who's going to pay me? Come on.
I think we know it. Business is what makes
There's no free lunches in life. Come on. Who's putting money on the table? Who will put the money on the table for the answer? Come on. Anybody? Anybody pay me?
We can't pay you. Sorry.
You are very costly, sir.
Did I ever say how much? You're making assumptions. You see, those are questions you ask in order to avoid. But you see, now that's what you call it. There's a guy who gives me 2,000 old rupees of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka. You think that's good pay? Would anybody take this as legal tender? Nobody? Sorry, there's not payment. Come on, who's going to pay me? Thank you very much for offering.
Welcome.
Oh, ball pen. Chalo, we've got one payment, one ball pen. Anything else? Oh, there's a gentleman there who was always marketing himself. He was selling magazines.
Fine. Nobody needs to offer anything.
No. Masha. Well, I don't know what happened. All I can tell you is apparently I must have said the right thing. And I said to him, I said, Ahmed, I can answer that in one question, in one sentence. He said, what? I said, we want to take education to scale.
I beg your pardon?
We want to take education to scale. He said, what does that mean? I said, we want to produce the leaders who go out and spread that leadership to others.
That was my answer.
What words you choose also matters. Okay? So he apparently liked it. So we started, spent the day discussing this further, and then that was on the 13th of October. I said I'm going to come back again. I went back again on the 21st of November, and then we went back again on the 18th and 19th of December, so 2008. And on January the 6th, 2009, the Deputy Dean came to Karachi. And we had a function at the Swing Club. He gave a speech there. February the 9th, 2009, we went over there to sign an MOU with Cambridge. Now, ladies and gentlemen, an MOU is no value. Just remember that.
Yes.
Cambridge's walls are like wallpaper of MOUs. What matters is the agreement, not the MOU. I am amazed that this one individual, Anand Damaya, was able to move 700 Cambridge professors and faculty members to all come to the conclusion to execute an agreement with the Karachi School for Business and Leadership. 700. You have no idea how complicated the decision-making structure is in Cambridge. But every faculty member has a right to express his opinion. I don't know how the heck he did it. But by April the 4th, we not only negotiated an agreement, but got it approved by Cambridge. And on April 4th, he himself came over here, and we signed the agreement here at the Pearl Continental. Salim Raza was our chief guest. He was stayed by governor at that time. On April 4th, 2009. By the way, we only had a legal entity. We had nothing else. And they had that much confidence that they signed the agreement with us. Thereafter, you needed money. And you've already seen how difficult it is to get money, even here. All I got was a flower. Didn't get the money.
Sri Lankan rupee.
I thought you guys would be happy to give me a lot of money so I could give it to the school. Oh, that's lovely flower. Anyway, so raising the money is not easy. So I had to run around trying to raise money, etc. And finally, cut a long story short, we started we have a school for girls, called the Dow Public School for Girls, and we've got 1,700 girls there. And we have this piece of property. I said